All right, hello. Welcome back to another episode of When Starbucks Was Fun. Hi,
Hi.
Jeff.
Hi.
This is a podcast where we kind of take a little dip into the past, into the 90s, and we talk about opening up the fifth Starbucks in Los Angeles and the best, I think. And
I
I
mean,
am I'm
you're not
Adela
wrong.
Levine, one of the hosts, and Jeff?
I'm Jeff Hartman, also a host of
Yes,
this
we are
podcast.
I'm always trying to figure out how do we say this properly? Host, co-host, but it's
Co-host,
really two hosts. We're both hosting
two
it. We're
hosts. We're
two
co-hosting.
hosts
Yes.
together. We are hosting and hosting and
Mm.
hosting together.
I wish I had a
Okay.
hostess Twinkie. Anyway, getting.
I can get that for you at Costco. Costco has everything, including egg white
I
bites.
know. Don't
I'm just saying.
even.
I'm just
They have them at
saying.
Trader Joe's too, by the way.
Not this is
Not the
Starbucks
Starbucks
brand.
brand. No, you're right. You're right.
They literally steal. They literally sell the Starbucks brand. Okay, so
Okay.
we are gonna go over. Okay, so we've been on this journey of sorts, and we're kind of irritated because we've kind of hit a wall, right? To be fair,
I mean, I hate when
right?
people ghost you.
I know. We sent
We're
out
being
an
ghosted.
email. We're being ghosted by Starbucks. We sent an email out
So
saying,
rude.
"Yo, we have a great idea. We think that you should listen to us."
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Radio silence.
Yeah,
Do they say
exactly.
that anymore? Is that an old-fashioned term?
It is an old-fashioned term. It is
Radio silence?
definitely yes,
Do
because
people
people
even listen to the radio anymore?
it is a definite old-fashioned term, grandma.
I remember the radio. And we didn't have the television sets.
Okay. That was my bad. I I was trying to turn it down. Not grandma. I
Uh,
wasn't trying to turn grandma. Never, never. We
Never.
love grandma.
She can't be turned down.
She
She might fall asleep, but she can't be turned down.
I mean, the thing is, it is very much an old term because think about it. Do you wait, I don't wanna ask this question because I already know the answer. Do you know anybody who listens to the radio still?
I do
He's
in my
raising his
car.
hand for those
I
listening.
do in my
Wait,
car.
so you don't listen on a playlist on Spotify or Apple
Uh,
Music?
no, no, not
Like
usually.
like AM, FM radio, not even
Yes,
Siri.
ma'am. I listen to K Earth
Wow.
101 oldies, which terrifyingly plays 80s all the time. That's oldies. No
Uh,
Ronettes, no, Eddie Fisher, none of the old music. Oldies is now 80s. I don't want to talk about it, but I will.
I think I need to remind Jeff that the '80s was 40
Stop.
years ago.
Mm,
40 years ago is oldies.
you trying to kill me? You were correct,
It's
but I do like listening
painful.
to it.
It's
It's
painful to
painful.
realize, but you wanna know what's funny? I only do you know me, I only do playlists on Spotify. I have my own playlist,
Mm,
and they have an '80s playlist, and honestly, weirdly, like, my son and even his friends have been like, they don't think it sounds too they know it's old music, but it doesn't sound old like what we thought of '50s music,
right.
and I
Like
think it's because it's
doo-wop,
techno right? Because it has a little bit of the electrical, like
electronica.
right, so it has that kind of like, electric music, EDM, kind of vibe, like
Well,
so they
also,
kind
they
of
were all raised by Gen Xers who that's what they listen to, what
I
they
know,
like
but
listening
I
to.
don't think that's necessarily why, because I listen to all different music, and I think it's because the gap was is so much bigger between the '50s and the '80s because look at the inventions that were made from
That's
the
true.
'50s to the '80s,
Yeah.
like, right, it's not as big of a
The
generation gap as we had.
technological
Right,
advancements.
is
Yes.
huge. So I
You like that?
feel like it's really interesting. But anyway, needless to say, it is
I
an
listen to the
oldie.
radio. So radio silence from Starbucks. Let's get back on the tracks.
Radio silence.
Because we all take trains still, right? Coal locomotives? What? What?
We do, but there has been an invention called cars. Just say
Oh,
let you
yes.
know. Cars.
Automobile. Yes.
Automobiles. So
Automobile.
we can use a new and a little more modern term would be, and my favorite, as you might guess, we got ghosted.
That's what I said. We got ghosted.
We did. We got ghosted. We're totally ghosted. What the, what the
Heck.
hell? What the
What
hell,
the
Starbucks?
frappuccino, Starbucks?
Why
That's
haven't
another
you
F word.
exactly. Wait,
What the crap?
do you remember we used to say fraps and they were like, "You can't say fraps.
Oh,
That's not we don't
yeah.
want you to" remember
Oh, my.
I
It
just
is called a
remembered
frappuccino. I'm sure Andy was upset about that.
that I'm sure. Sorry, Andy, but we
We
think
love
you might have been.
Andy.
We love Andy. Andy, we had him on. Go listen to last week's
Oh my god.
episode. He's our old assistant manager and then of course became a manager. And I didn't know him as a manager because you worked with him at Toluca
Yeah.
Lake. But
Yes.
anyway, just to track back, it was crazy that they were, like, so upset that we said fraps.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I'm having a bad
"Hey,
flashback.
tall
I remember
grande
that.
mocha frap with no whip." Do not say frap because you know why? They wanted frappuccino in people's brains, I
Yeah, and
guess. Do you
because it
think
was like a cappuccino, frappuccino,
I
it
don't
was
know
like
what it was, but we got in trouble. Now today, I hear baristas say frap all the time. All the
frap.
time.
Yep.
And maybe it's because they wanted to establish themselves. Anyway, so
Well, everything is
what the
abbreviated
frappuccino
now.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
That's
go
a good
ahead.
point. Okay, they haven't answered us. We sent an
Nope.
email out saying to them, "Listen, we're trying to figure out why you have this damn alumni sign up, 1. 2,
Yes.
we think we all still know each other. We're trying to, like, help you out in your goddamn stocks and all that shit. And we think that you should answer us. And we would love to do a documentary with you because we all know each other and we have stories, we have items, we have things, and nada,
Nothing. Zero, zip, zilch.
nothing. And we reached out to 3
Disappointing.
different people.
And we did it like 2
So
weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, it doesn't, I think we're being ignored. I will not be ignored. Where's that from, Jeff?
I won't be ignored, Dan. That was from Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
We're gonna start boiling egg white
Yeah.
bites on their stove.
I knew you were gonna get it. I know that was a good one, anyway. It's one of my most favorite lines from that
Ah,
movie.
I won't be ignored,
Will not be
Dan.
ignored, Dan. We will not be ignored, Starbucks. So, I
So,
was gonna save this for the podcast, but I say I wanted to throw out live and here and in action. We are gonna do something else. And what is it, Jeff?
is this a quiz show? What do I win for this? $1,000,000? I You can't throw something at me and not let me hold on, let me refer to my notes. What are we gonna do?
We we need ideas. I mean, no one's talking back to us. Although we got a new review, which we'll read, which was very awesome. Thank you for the new review. But what is our next step to get them to hear us? The only thing I could think of is we are planning a reunion.
Correct. We have talked about that
So,
ad nauseum.
well, we are doing plans. We have plans in
I know.
action, in motion.
We got some we got some headway.
We got some headway that we're gonna decide next weekend, remember? Because we have spots we're looking at. Don't you did you forget? I could see he
Yes,
forgot.
I know. No, I know, but
Okay,
we'll
it
see.
just
We'll
came
see
back to
how
you.
it
Okay.
goes.
Mhm, okay. So, anyway, maybe that is gonna take that where we're kinda, put that reunion out there and we all say something to them. That's what I'm thinking. We just put the video out
Oh,
there and everybody starts saying something like, "Yo, Starbucks, speak up, speak to us."
just let us know. I mean, even if you're not interested, just
Right.
say something. Just
Don't be
be at
rude.
least be respectful and say, "Hey, thanks for the reach out. Not really interested," or "Great idea, but we're doing it anyway." I mean, you know what I mean? Like something.
First of all, you better not be doing a documentary anyway, and you need us because we are amazing and awesome, and we had the one of the best stores in the company. So I would say it
I
behooves
agree.
you to contact
Behuve,
us.
behooves. Mm.
Behooves you to contact us.
Um, I agree. They don't have us. They might
But I'm
find other
saying if
partners.
we do a reunion and everybody says something at the reunion like, "Hey, this Starbucks, reach out." I think that could be pretty, like, powerful, and we
Powerful.
post that shit. Yeah, I think. You don't look convinced.
I don't know. I'm thinking on it. If
Okay,
they haven't responded to an email,
right?
will they respond to a video of everybody going,
Well,
reach out?
they put up an alumni poster after we started posting this podcast, so I say they are listening.
Well, what was interesting, let's talk about that for a moment.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So Andy had mentioned when we asked Andy about it, from last week, he did
Mhm.
say that he thought it could be, he doesn't know anything about it because he's 5 years out of the company now, out of the cult. I mean, company. And he has said that he thought maybe it was like a test market or like a test to see how much interest it it generated. So I know
Right.
that my brother and sister-in-law saw one in Santa Barbara
Mhm.
at a store, but so far only those two stores that I know of. Now, maybe they're putting them in certain locations and certain districts to see, that are busier stores to see if there's interest. I don't know.
Right.
Nobody knows. But I did fill out that thing. Remember when we were at Studio City?
You did,
And
but you didn't finish it. You didn't
I
hit
know, but I
submit.
still got a response. I mean, not a response. I've
You
gotten two
did?
emails from the Alumni Association.
What'd they
One
say?
of one of them was, oh God, let's see. I saved them. Can I bring it up? I
Okay.
won't. I won't close you out, right? No,
No,
I'm
you
still
won't.
on. Okay. Okay. So the
You
first
can't get
one,
rid of me, Jeff.
I won't be ignored, Jeff.
I won't be
Um,
ignored, Jeff.
Okay, so the first one was a welcome. Dear Jeff, we'd like to invite you to a virtual coffee tasting event on July 23rd at 8:30 cuz we're not working. July 23rd is a like a,
This is what
I
I'm
don't know.
upset about with Jeff with. This is my upsetness is that you did
My
not tell
upsetness.
me. Yeah, I
It
made
was
it
with
up
the
because I'm so
podcast.
upset.
I was reading. Okay, anyway,
Listen,
so it said that
you
and
should
then it
have
says
told me.
you'll get a chance to meet other new members as well as the Starbucks alumni community team. We'll share more about the community, including the ways you can take advantage of everything the Starbucks alumni community has to offer.
What do you
We're,
have
ex-
to offer?
we're excited that you've joined us and even more excited to see you in person. In the meantime, be sure to follow us on LinkedIn. That's what the email was.
What?
We're on LinkedIn.
Oh, the alumni? Did you
Yes,
check it out?
I'm not
I'm
on
checking
LinkedIn.
it out right now, real time. I have
So,
LinkedIn. Okay,
my
keep
point
talking,
is
Jeff.
that I don't know what this is. I mean, they're saying that a coffee meeting, but the other email I got, I'll do that while you're doing
Okay,
that,
I'm checking it out,
was
everybody.
fireside chat with Lucy Helm. Join us July 23rd, same day, to
Okay.
celebrate Disability Advocacy Pride Month. The Starbucks Disability Advocacy Networks welcomes back a former chief partner officer and Starbucks alumni community member, Lucy Helm. On July 23rd from 12 to 1, alumni are invited to a fireside chat to hear about Lucy's experiences with disability rights and advocacy and her involvement during the passage of ADA and her continued support and advocacy for the community. Great. I think that's a lovely thing that they did. Those are the
Right?
only two emails I've gotten. But they were both on the same day. And from what I remember, July 23rd was like a Tuesday. I work where none of us are retired.
Okay, I understand, but you could have told me because
Well,
I
you
would have
couldn't
went
go.
down. I
You're
could
not
have.
invited because you're
Well,
not
I
in the
would just
Alumni Association.
but I would go and sign up, and then I would sign up, and then I would get an email too. That's what I'm thinking. Would have been a good plan, and then I would have been like, "Hey, have you heard of" okay, so I have Starbucks, recruiter, what do I type in?
Starbucks Alumni
Starbucks
Association. Alumni
alumni.
Association.
Is this even real? Are you
It's gonna
it's
have
not
like this
coming
AI
up.
guy whose eyes are like glazed over or something.
No, Starbucks alumni community.
There you go. There you go.
Let's
How
see.
many members
Uh,
does it say?
there is. There's like wait, there's a few Starbucks alumni community. I'm so confused. Is this the right
Wait a
one?
minute.
Your place to connect with former partners.
That's it. It's got to be it.
Okay, but there's another one, Starbucks community. There's a few posts. What's happening?
Fishy.
What is happening here? So I hit follow. Okay, it has 9,000 followers.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I have to turn on my now I'm going to get notices from Starbucks.
That's
Great.
okay. That content.
Starbucks, okay, here it is. The Starbucks alumni community is a place for former US Starbucks partners to find, connect with fellow alums, discover new opportunities, develop growth, and make a positive impact on our communities. Even after we hang up our aprons, we are still connected at the green thread. Okay, really? You're just trying to
Come on.
be cool. You're not us. Don't even try it.
We're not
Now let's look
corporatey.
at here's posts, okay? There's
Yeah.
just some really stock
Post about our
type
podcast. Oh,
I
yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
post right now. Origin is a powerful role to Starbucks. Also, there's people who post, but it's very little posting. It's kind of weird. I don't know
Well,
what's happening.
I have a feeling what happened is they had these posters sporadically placed in different stores. People signed up, then they went to the LinkedIn and signed up, and now it's just like this collection of former partners and
Okay, I'm
nothing's
gonna
going on.
post. What do I say? What do I say? You tell me. You're the writer. We're doing it live on this
Oh my
podcast.
god. No pressure.
I'm really. I don't want to. Should I put a picture of our
The
podcast? Oh my
podcast.
god.
Remember when Starbucks was a
Oh
fun
my
place to
god.
work?
Oh my god, I'm doing it. Oh my god, I'm doing it. Okay,
You're
okay,
probably gonna
hold
get
on.
flagged, like, "Wah."
What?
I'm just kidding,
Why
maybe you
would
won't get them.
they should be kissing our butts. We're helping them out. Hello?
While you're doing that, it's
Yeah,
interesting you say that because we've been saying how different it is and like that there's no third place. And like Andy was saying, well, the culture has changed as far as
right.
like the company had to shift because everybody's in and out and nobody wants to hang out any place. I don't know if I buy that nobody wants to hang out any place. I think people like somewhere to congregate.
I
But
think
anyway,
people
that's just me.
still like someplace to congregate. I agree.
But what I think is interesting is you sent me that article about that how Starbucks had been contacted that what is it a firm the firm the what did you say consulting firm to try and help them because their stocks aren't doing so great, people, and I know because I still have some. Sorry, Adela. I know that's a bitter
That's
pill to swallow.
very it's a very, very bitter pill to swallow, and it just keeps getting worse as we have guests on, and I can tell you that my lameness was so lame that when Tony came on and this is how clueless I still was,
Mm,
like, 30 years later,
yes.
and you're like, "Tony, what did you do with your stock?" And I'm like, "Oh, Tony, he's a free spirit, he didn't do it. He's like, I bought 5 houses. And I'm like,
I thought he said 3. Needless to
that that's what he did to me. He mic dropped it up. And I was like, wow. And you were like, you knew because Jeff's a grown up apparently, and I grew up like late. I started growing up at like 40. You're a little more grown up than me. And
well,
he was
my
like,
mom was very smart, so she was
and your
very
mom,
fiscally sound.
well, I didn't have any adults around, but
Yes,
I will
I know.
tell you that my sister, who's 20 years older than me, she loves the fact, she remembers me working at Starbucks. She loves the fact that we started this podcast. But when I told her, she is very good financially, like smart
Mhm,
that way.
mhm.
And I
Yeah.
said, she goes, wait a minute, you never told me about this. And she's like, oh my God. She like flipped out. She was like, what? And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, I never talked to you about it. And if I did, she probably would have advised me. Okay,
Right.
back to this.
Yes.
I am kind of sweating and a little nervous because
Yeah.
it is big letters. Our big poster says, "When Starbucks was fine, back to the bucks." Is our picture. What do I say? Now I need your help. I
Say,
say, "This is our podcast." What do I say?
our this we started this podcast 2 months ago to
Wait a
reconnect
minute, you're
with
going too fast. Okay, I'm going to voice text it. Here we go.
okay,
We started this podcast 2 months ago. Okay.
to, about working in Los Angeles at the
Okay,
4th
pause. About working in Los Angeles at the 4th
no, sorry,
busiest
5th
star. Oh
sorry.
my god.
It was the
God, God,
5th
God,
store in Los
God.
Angeles, and at
Wait a minute.
one time
First of all, you realize I voice texts. I have to listen and then
I'm
talk.
I'm just spinning. I
Wait a
you don't have to put it
It's
verbatim.
typing me
I'm
saying
riffing right now
it's typing me saying you realize that I voice texting.
because you didn't turn it off, Blanche. You know we got rats in the cellar, Blanche.
Oh my god. That is my all-time favorite movie. That is my all-time favorite movie in the world, and me and my other sister, she's, only 10 she's the one that's 10 years older than me. She had to get, like, surgery, and I
Mhm.
had to take care of her, and I kept going, "You didn't eat your din did ya? What are you afraid of? There's some rats." And she was like, "It's not funny."
Oh, you didn't eat your didn't
And since she had to have, like, a bed that brought in because she had it was hip surgery, so it wasn't like,
Yeah.
body stuff. And she had to have one of those pull-ups, and I I put a sign I taped on there saying, "Didn't you eat your din hanging from it?" She wasn't laughing anymore. She was like, "It's not funny now." And I was like, "It's hilarious."
Serve her a rubber rat on a plate. That would have been perfect.
We watched the movie together while she was in the
Oh,
bed. It was, like, awesome. Anyway, side
you
note,
wouldn't be so mean to me if I weren't in this chair.
if you
Matt
ever
and I,
got did you if you ever read the book? Did you read the book about
what?
how they
No. Oh,
filmed
about
that?
the feud. The feud.
Yeah.
That's what that Ryan Murphy show was based on.
Right, but
The
they
Divine
both
Feud,
talk
or
about it and how she
yeah,
put, like, weights in her so
on
that when
purpose. Yeah.
on purpose, and when she went to pick for everybody who's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" We apologize. We are talking about none other than Baby Jane, and if you haven't
Whatever happened to
seen
Baby
Whatever
Jane? Yes.
Happened to Baby Jane, it is one of
Classic.
the best movies with, Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, and it's
Yes.
like they're kinda had to do it because it's the end of their career, and of course, everyone to see them together, and it is the best.
So good.
So good.
You know, Matt and I started our drag career, our drag thing, doing Halloween, and the very first Halloween, we did Baby Jane and Blanche,
And then ABBA.
and then ABBA,
I do remember
and then
that too.
yes, we would do a campy duo every Halloween, and the
Right.
first one we did was Baby Jane and Blanche, and Matt was Blanche in the chair, sitting in the chair. I mean, he blocked out his eyebrows, the whole 9 yards.
Well,
Carrie had
awesome.
a
And people
rat
have to
and then
remember this was the '90s, so it wasn't like, you saw that a ton like today.
Yes,
It was before
correct.
Rue came along,
Yeah.
okay? This was like
RuPaul was on the
RuPaul.
scene, but she didn't have
No,
her show or
you know what I'm saying, yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
wasn't,
I'm
like,
just letting them
mainstream at
know that
all.
the
Yeah,
listeners know that this wasn't like a common weekly
no,
thing, and it was still frowned upon, and, I was
and they
Baby
got a lot of
Jane.
attention.
I was Baby Jane, and I had long hair then. Remember when I had my long luscious hair? Luscious,
Locks,
whatever,
long
and I
locks.
had rat curled it. I got
Oh
a
my
big pink
god.
bow, and I got this, like, lacy, weird dress from a thrift store, and I put birdseed in nylon and hung it around my to have like these saggy old lady boobs, and we were
So
a
if you
hit.
yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you have to see it because it's very campy, it's very over the top, and
Yes,
when you read the backstory, you kind of find out why, because they're kind of competing against each other basically through the
yeah,
whole show. I mean, the show is they hate each other and they hate each other in real life. So
in real
it
life,
just comes
yeah,
off perfect. I mean,
yeah.
you
They were
feel it.
always in competition with each other for the
Right.
most part.
Because
Yeah,
Betty Davis always felt like she was a confident, what's the word? She was a
professional.
real
Yeah,
actor,
she was a real
right?
actor, and
And
Joan
she looked at
Crawford
Joan
slept her
Crawford.
way to the top. It's sort
That's
of
how
what they played off of. I mean,
right, that's what
here or there, who knows?
I mean,
But
Joan Crawford was supposed to be more sexy and all
right.
that, and Betty Davis was like the real actress. Okay, anyway, I'm hanging here. I'm hanging
Sorry.
here. I'm hanging here, baby
Well, we
Jane.
went
All
off on a
right.
little side. Sorry, Blanche.
Side quest.
Little side
Why are you
conquest.
doing this to me? You just left me here in this chair trying to type things.
Well, this
You wouldn't do this
time
to
we
me if
could have
you knew.
been friends.
So
Okay,
on spot.
and sing.
You wouldn't do
Okay,
this to me if I knew how to write. Okay, go ahead.
okay.
Okay.
uh, what do we have so far?
We we started this podcast 2 months ago. That is it.
As a way to reconnect and reunite
Pause. Okay. As a way to reconnect and reunite
with our former partners
with
at
our former partners
Ventura Vantage
at Ventura Vantage
store.
store,
Sorry. Um, uh, which was in 1994 the fifth store in Los Angeles
which was in 1994 the fifth store in Los Angeles, which we opened
and became the fourth busiest store in the company at one time.
and became the fourth busiest store in the world.
Like it, like it. Um,
That's it.
uh, what else do we want to say about that? So, what do we have so far?
Okay.
We started the
We
podcast.
Okay, I have to turn the thing off. We started this podcast 2 months ago as a way to reconnect and reunite with our former partners at Ventura Vantage Store, which was in 1994 the fifth store in Los Angeles, which we
Which we
opened
opened.
became the fourth busiest store in the world. I think we want to say we've reached out to Starbucks because we would love to have other partners on, and we're even would
Yeah.
love to
How
make
about
a documentary.
if you'd like to be on the podcast or interested in a documentary, hit us up
If
because
you would
I
like
think
to be on the podcast, or we think this would make a great documentary as we're having a reunion, please email us at starbuckswasfun@gmail.
yes. Okay,
Okay, wait,
because
hold on. I have to fix it because it didn't type,
it
doesn't know how to
never
type
does.
an email. Well, it doesn't know how to type email.
Uh, because I think it would be so cool if somebody saw that and was like at the original store in at the at Pike's Market, the very first Starbucks store. That would be cool to have somebody from that generation on.
Right, exactly. That's true.
So if
I'm
you're
gonna hit.
listening out there,
I'm gonna hit. Thank you, Jeff and Adela.
perfect.
Okay, I'm posting it, everyone. Here we
Let's do
go.
it. And
Post.
then
Boom. What do you think about them apples? Wait a minute. Always get notified about responses
what do you
to
like?
your
How do you like
posts.
them egg bites
Uh,
now,
yeah.
Starbucks?
There you go. How do you think about that?
I, I still don't. Oh God, I just still don't like you. I just want to go on record
Uh-oh.
that every person that we've talked
Uh-oh.
to thus
Yes.
far, Andy, Brenda, well, we didn't ask Tony this because we hadn't gotten into that yet.
Okay, I
Neither,
did it.
neither liked the
Yeah.
egg white bites.
Okay,
So
you know what? I just feel like
you're outnumbered.
obviously I
Outnumbered.
I just think I'm starting to feel like it's for cool people. That's what I'm thinking. It
The
must be
egg
for
white
the
bites are?
cool. Yes.
Mm,
No?
no.
Okay, here's my other theory. My other theory is it's just, you either get it or you don't. You either understand that it's comforting and lovely. Yeah. Yeah, what's up? Thank you. You see what I mean? You either in that vibe, you kind of
You
vibe.
either enjoy having demonic egg white bites be your friend, or you're scared of them like me.
I'm
So,
starting to that kinda makes sense for what I do. Maybe that is why. Oh, and speaking of what I do and the things we're into, Jeff, did you see this lovely fan that I have?
oh, is that Madame Leota?
Oh, sorry, wrong side. Adam Leota.
Awaken the spirits with your tambourine.
Yes. Yes. There we
Well,
go. Just yeah,
it
wanted
looks like you're sitting in the Haunted Mansion lobby right now, but
well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if I could have a house decorated like that, I would. I'm very at
I
home on
saw
that, right?
I saw there's a house that somebody built. I can't remember where I saw that. It was online somewhere. And it looks like the Haunted Mansion. The inside doesn't, but the outside looks like that old like colonial, southern house, and it looks
Yeah.
just like it on the outside.
Did you see I saw on TikTok this guy has like the what are those chairs where they're electric and they drive them around when
Oh,
they,
the
it's
dune
old.
buggy.
Yeah.
The dune
He
buggy?
made it he put like a black thing on the top and he put a black thing to make it look like the cars you sit in.
Nice.
And it was so
Those are
awesome.
cool.
People were
That's
like,
cool.
yeah, it was very cool. Okay,
Very cool.
so I sent it, Jeff. I'm a little nervous because, we'll see what happens.
Well, what
It's
are
on
they
my
gonna do?
account, especially. I just don't want them to be I think if they're smart, they'll be receptive. I mean, they'll be like if they're smart, they would turn it into a marketing thing and say, "Oh, you know
Yeah.
what?" Like whenever I see other companies like respond to people who are like, "Hey, we're calling out you. We want you to have, Oreos or whatever." Oreos or whatever will respond on the post. It's smarter because it looks like they want to cooperate. They want to be a part of it. That would be the smart thing to do.
It would be the
Couldn't they?
smart thing, but maybe there's some inner turmoil going on at Starbucks. I mean, if they're hiring a consulting firm, there
That's
might
right.
be a little bit of, you know, unsureness going on in the company itself. So
Yes.
there could be some headbutting, if you
And
will.
not to mention, we found out that from Andy that they were
Yes.
bringing in people from Exxon and other big corporations that were it kind of
I remember.
reminds me of my favorite show, The Office, where they didn't hire within, and he was like, "Where did you come from? Do you come from paper?" And he's like, "No, I come from steel, making steel." And he's like, "You can't burn paper, you know." It's like he's basically he's upset because he's like, "You don't know anything about paper." That's kind of what they did. Yeah, Andy told us that if you go back and
I'll have to
listen,
re-listen.
it was
Well, I
kind
do.
of when we asked him what changed, and he said at the end, when he was leaving, at
Mhm.
the end. He said they started bringing in like people from Exxon, like big corporations, and they were kind of making changes in the company.
Well, I do remember hearing, even when I was at Starbucks, so 20 years ago, that
Mhm.
they would hire people in as managers who never had worked at a Starbucks because
Right. I remember that too.
they had management training or
Experience.
whatever, and they could
Right.
get hired in at a higher rate than people who were promoted within, which I always thought really sucked. I always thought that was kind of BS.
Absolutely, because I remember going, "Oh, wow, I thought so and so would have gotten promoted," and yeah, they started to kinda change their tune, which we so I think we should kind of flip to our adventure. We went out and we did a vlog, and we went out into the field, and we did a lot of fun things. One of them is, driving with Jeff. That was interesting and
Speaking of
scary.
Disney and Mr.
Speaking of
Toad,
Disney, yeah, thinking of being on the Mr. Jeff Wild ride,
it
I
wasn't that bad.
okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well, next
let's
time
just
you can drive, and maybe we'll get there in an hour.
the
I'm sorry,
funny
do we have
thing
to pedal the car?
the thing that we learned about each other is Jeff has grandma intentions, but he definitely does not have grandma driving. I do. I drive like a grandma. So even though I wanna be in the Jetsons, I want it to be really slow, and I would drive really slow in the air, and I would not be going fast.
And cause
So
accidents.
cause accidents. Oh, no, it's okay, people just go around. This is what I always say to people when they get mad at me. I'm like, "You can go around. Feel free to go
Do
around."
you do you drive with your hazards on all the time? Like, "Go ahead. Go ahead."
No,
Like,
this is when this music applies to me. I'm like, "You can go around, young man. You're gonna get in an accident. That is terrible. You're a
"Why
terrible
are you in
driver."
such a hurry? Where are you going so fast?
It was
Dude,
it was so hilarious because Jeff was like he also was doing a lot of commentary on graffiti people he was very upset about,
that's rude. That's wrong.
and I don't know why you were so upset about scooters and what they did to you. What have they done to you?
Well, do you have look, let me break it down. The scooter manufacturing companies,
Uh-oh.
no, I'm just kidding. but, but the scooters are like, look, I think they're a great idea. The problem is these people will ride them until they run out of
And then they just
battery.
throw them off to
And
the
then they just
side.
leave them in people's front yards and on the corners and in the street, and it doesn't sit well with me,
It was like the
obviously.
best. It was the best part of going on this venture was Jeff's commentary. I mean, it was just the best. It was gold. I loved it. I didn't know he had so much to say, but then also stopped to smell flowers. So that was nice too.
I s
And I you think you were noticing even the flowers growing out in the
Well,
fences and
when we went to the Sherman Oaks store, which is no
okay,
longer there,
gone, dead,
on
out,
ideology,
gone,
flat
gone.
white market, I don't know what happened, no Masaki.
Nope.
They there was these beautiful hibiscus bushes as we were walking by, and they were
Mhm.
white hibiscus, which I had never seen. I have a hibiscus plant in my front yard, and I went, "Oh, those are beautiful hibiscus." Sorry,
Well,
kill me for
it
observing
was
nature.
it was a nice change. I was just trying to I was giving you a compliment because it was a nice change from the almost wanting, thought we were gonna die in the car, but we got there and we got their sound, and so I appreciate it. I filmed us. We went to the Ventura
Ventura
store. We went to the
Vantage,
studio.
yeah.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say Studio City and my brain can't.
It was our Studio City. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what we refer to it as, because 'cause we're OG.
we're OG. And we opened it. So, damn,
We can call
there
it
you
whatever
go.
we want.
We opened it so we can do whatever we want, bitches. Okay, so anyway, and the interesting thing is Jeff was supposed to step up to the plate. which he kinda didn't. And he thought that the security guard was after us for some reason. I'm like, "That security guard doesn't give a shit." I think the funniest thing is that you reverted back to, like, working there. You were, like,
I
back
I
in
got a
that
little
time.
paranoid. Got a
You
little
were like, "That
paranoid.
guy's after us." I'm like, "The guy doesn't even," like, from my phone holding it up, and you were like, "We got film." And I was like, "Nobody cares. Nobody cares." No one
I
did
was
care, by
very
the way.
I will say I was sweating. I was sweating.
And I kept saying to him, "People like being filmed." So Jeff found out they do like being filmed
I wasn't sold until the
until
first
he saw it,
we saw the reaction. I thought we were gonna get,
booted.
um, "You can't do that in this store, so, do you
Yeah.
want something?"
And that was very true in the 90s, even in the early 2000s, mid to
Yeah,
not anymore. Now TikTok and people are like hoping they go viral. So we found out, some things, and that's where Jeff scanned the poster and started to fill it out
yeah.
until what happened at the end? What did they ask you at the
Well, they had,
end?
like, "Do you agree to all these terms?" And it was, like, 99 pages. I'm like, "I'm not gonna read 99 pages right now." So I X'd out, but I'd already put
Well,
in my email, so that's
it was
why I
like it was a con it I think it was, but I kinda wanted to tell you this. I feel like you were smart about this because they were basically saying, "Hey, you're giving us permission to, like, get your
yeah,
information." But they could have been like, "Hey," they could say, "Oh, now that you've joined us and you've agreed, whatever you're putting out there is our stuff." I mean, who knows? It could have been a
that's
trap.
why I X'd
Could have been
out,
a trap.
because here's
Mhm.
the thing. We've all
Yeah.
seen Little Mermaid, right? I didn't want them to take my voice. I
What
would
the
sign the contract, my voice
Mhm.
is taken out of my body, no and we're
And
silent.
then you meet
No,
your
not
prince,
happening.
and you
If
can't tell him
only.
you love him. Well, if we're gonna go with the story, we're going all the way, baby. Who knows? Starbucks
Hmm.
could help you meet your prince. But then they would have had your voice. But then you get it back after a long battle, and it's all good. Everything would have worked out.
Then my legs turned into
Sorta.
fish thinned, and oh my god. And now we're talking about Starbucks. The mermaid, the siren, is the logo. Come on, it all comes full circle.
Oh, good job, Jeff. You are killing it, killing it. You did that not even trying. Not even trying.
All I could think of was if when Ariel doesn't I just bit my cheek. When Ariel doesn't read the thank you. I know you guys. Thank you. I love you too. I oh my god, you guys are down. I'm embarrassed. Standing ovation. Thank you.
I I mean,
Uh But
when you're
the
good,
the
you're good.
contract is, like, 99 pages, and I'm like, "I'm not gonna say I agree," because again, Ursula the Sea Witch did that to Ariel.
Yes,
So,
yes.
didn't wanna
Well,
do that.
here's the thing. I feel that I was checking to make sure I didn't get any, like, notices, which I
"Take
haven't
this
yet.
off. You are
Get
denied."
any getting I know. That'll be interesting. But I feel like it was really interesting that he still got contacted, so that's interesting.
Because I
Other
put in my
thing
email, that's
I'm
why.
sure they talked about it because the girl was very helpful. She tried to use we had the 30-year-old coupon that Jeff
The
tried to
relic.
use the fr man, I will
Relic.
tell you that it definitely I felt it at that point because in I think up to then, I was like, "They must have heard of it," like, I don't know why I would think this.
No.
But no, of course not. They were like when we went to the 2nd store no, the 3rd store was what's the store with the
Alcove,
girl that
Ventura
was
Alcove?
pregnant? Alcove, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jeff showed her his partner card to her. She was looking at it like, "Wow, that's
Oh, I've never
interesting."
seen that before. Oh, I was born in '94, and I was like,
You were like, "Alright, goodbye."
"Oh,
You're
that's
like
cute,
you're like,
Laura."
Never mind. Never mind." Yeah, but the thing is that it's kinda interesting because if she'd been there 10 years, when do you think those cards, like, just went away and they
Good
went
question.
digital.
We
Do you
should have
think
asked
in
Andy that.
2000?
Well, no,
Yeah, those
because
are questions
in
we should ask Andy.
2002, well, when did I leave? I left in 2003, and it was, we still had them. We still had them. So I want to say
Mhm.
maybe by like 2010, or maybe when they got the mobile app, when the app became pretty prevalent. I'm assuming that's
Yeah,
probably when it went to electric. Electric?
digital.
I remember electricity. We used to have to light candles all
Wow.
over the house. And then
Wow.
there was something called electricity.
How old I'm just curious, how old are you, Grandma? Because it seems like
325 years old and
oh,
28 days.
I mean, I'm starting to realize you're a vampire, Grandma. A little scary. Grandma's a
It kind
vampire.
of goes with your.
Grandma that would make a good movie. Grandma the Vampire. That would
Well,
be good.
there was that weird movie. I remember.
What?
Sidetrack. There was that weird movie
Sidetrack.
about those two kids who go and stay with their grandmother. I don't remember. I didn't see it because I don't like horror movies.
Not Lost
And
Boys.
no, that
Okay,
has
because I'm
nothing to.
I because
I love Lost Boys.
I was gonna be disappointed in your pop
Lost
culture
Boys is
references.
amazing. No, this was
Yeah.
like 10 years ago. And these kids go and their grandma's like, they're like, whatever you do, don't come out at night or something. Like the grandma's like possessed. It was not a cute movie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
If anybody
not
remembers
good.
that movie, let us know
Yeah,
because
let us know because I think Jeff made
that
it
freaked
up.
me out.
Starting to think it was a fever dream he had one night.
I had too much caffeine one night.
One night, it
I
went
ate
too
too many
far.
mandolins, too many mandolins, and some Java chip ice cream, which they don't
Okay,
make
so
anymore.
we
Remember the
should,
ice
like I was about to say, we should let people know that there was Starbucks. Do they still have Starbucks ice cream?
cream? Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
No.
It was a big deal to us. We were,
Yeah.
like, flipping out. We were like, "Oh my god." Because you have to realize just to kind of, go back to the point of this podcast, by the way,
Yes.
before, you know, that we literally were watching this company go from this little company we thought was, like, already kind of big a little
Yeah.
bit go into, like, grocery stores and stuff, and we thought that was, like,
Yeah.
huge, like,
Yeah.
"What? They're putting, like, Starbucks
Yes.
ice cream in a
Yeah.
grocery store? We're blowing up." Like,
Yeah.
we
It
are,
was.
like
We
right,
saw the whole evolution
right.
in real time.
I
Like
remember
we
when they put the
had.
Starbucks drinks, we were really frappuccino drinks in the
Oh,
bottles.
yes, the bottled
Yeah,
frappuccinos, and people
we
would come
were
in and be like,
really
"Do you sell the
"Can you
bottled
sell that bottle?"
frappuccinos in here?"
We were
And they're
like,
like,
"No,
"No."
because we make them here, bitches, okay? What does this look like? 7-Eleven? No, just kidding.
Now it does.
No, it does.
Uh,
Just
they
wait.
had a lot of things that didn't make it into the final run of the company, but
That's
yes, the
true.
ice cream was.
That's true.
I mean, like Mazagran. Do you remember Mazagran?
Why does it sound familiar?
Mazagran, children, let me
Okay.
educate you. It was
Okay.
a soda coffee beverage,
Oh, I do remember that. Was
and
terrible.
it was so
So bad.
bad. I think I had one in my cupboard for a really long time because I thought it would be, I collect things. You know this about me. I collect things.
Yes. Yes.
Hello. And
Yes.
so
Kalakta.
I had one in my cupboard for a really long time, and I thought I still had it, but I must have thrown it out because I was like, I'm never going to do anything with this. But it was so nasty, and they had like a whole display of it, and it said Mazagran, and I don't even know what that meant, but I'm sure it meant something in Starbucks ease. And we would sample it, and it was awful.
Terrible. And you know what? I forgot I feel like we have to have, like, Andy on another time because I forgot to ask him if he remember or we'll ask him this at the reunion that we
Yeah,
have because 'cause we're having it. What I asked him, I said, I wanted to ask him, like, if he remembered, the Starbucks bar that I worked at, because to your point, when you bring up the soda coffee, it's like Starbucks couldn't just, like, you don't have to do coffee in
Yes.
everything. Like, if you're
Yes.
gonna do a soda, just make it Starbucks soda
Soda.
and maybe have a coffee, like, esque flavor or something, but it doesn't have to be coffee and this, coffee.
Right.
That was where they were trying to do with everything.
Yes.
Everything had to be. I think they might have ventured out, like, because
Well,
you know
they
how
did
people
because they
should.
have, like, the
Mhm.
refreshers now, which are like, I don't know if they're tea-based, like green tea or black tea or passion fruit iced tea, and then they have, like,
They have that
well, oh,
strawberry.
speaking
Oh,
of,
uh-oh,
yesterday,
uh-oh,
went to the
yes.
Starbucks near me, the one that I really like, and the people
Okay.
are really nice, and I even gave them a compliment that, "You guys are the best Starbucks in town." Like we were. You
Yeah,
know?
and you should have said that, and they would've been like, "Okay, thanks, old man. Thank
No, I
you."
said, "I used to work for Starbucks, and I know what it's like to do be good customer service." Anyway, but blah, 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 blah.
What did they
So
say? What they
and
wait,
they were
wait,
like
wait, wait.
and the girl was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much. That's really sweet." So,
Oh,
yeah,
they
she was
really
really
are
sweet.
nice.
Shout out
Okay.
to Jasmine. Shout out to
Thank you.
Jasmine at
Shout
Oakland
out,
Pass.
Jasmine. Shout out, shout out.
Um, so I was there yesterday, and I was asking about so they call them raspberry pearls. The boba is called raspberry pearls.
Ew, that sounds
And I said
gross.
to the guy, "What are those raspberry pearls all about?" And he's like, "Well, for me," he's like, "it kind of reminds me of the raspberry syrup." He remembered the raspberry syrup, and I said, "Oh
What? We
yeah,
were just talking about how they don't have it
yeah." And I
anymore.
said, "I remember that too because I worked for Starbucks in the
Oh,
'90s." He goes, "Oh yeah."
damn.
He goes, "It sort of reminds me of that." He didn't really care, but that's fine. He was
He was
nice
like,
about it.
"Okay, whatever. Anyway, what
And
do you do?" Yeah.
I said, "Would it be good in, like, black iced tea lemonade? Because that's what I usually get in the summer because it's so hot."
Yeah,
And
right.
he's like, I mean, you have to bite into them." He goes, "Do you wanna try them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." So he
Whoa,
gave me
they
so
are
they
nice.
gave me a little scoopful of these little pearl things. I've
Okay.
never had boba before. I don't know if you've had
Yeah,
boba,
I
but
have.
so
Mhm.
I ate it. It was like little bubbles popping in my mouth. It was
I
so weird.
I thought that you would hate it. If you hate egg white, don't tell me that you like that better than egg white bites,
I don't I already told you I don't like eggs, Adela.
it has the same texture. I'm
No, you
surprised
don't
you would
bite
have
into an
liked
egg
it.
white you don't bite into an egg white bite and have it squirt in your mouth.
Oh, that sounded bad.
I'm sorry, I'm just calling it out the way it felt.
I'm just saying it was about texture for you, and that texture is even weirder because 'cause you're
It
drinking
was
something
Well, it
and
was
it goes in
weird,
your mouth and you
and then you're
bite it.
chewing it, and it's like
Yeah, I
it's
think that's gross.
it was gross. I did not get them, and so I he goes, "I gotta see your face when you try them," 'cause he was like so I tried it, I'm like,
And
"Mm,"
and
and
what
he's
did
like,
you say?
"Yep, that's what I was expecting," because
Mhm.
he was
'Cause
like,
they're weird.
"'Cause they're weird."
And
And
this and they're going away from they're just trying they're like, "Oh, do you guys like,
yeah,
well
yeah.
well, okay, we'll do that. Oh, what else do you like? What else do you like?
We'll call them raspberry pearls.
Okay, we could do that too. What else? We wanna
Okay. The other thing they have now is this something called an energy, like a tea drink, and it's supposed to
Yeah.
have extra caffeine in it. Okay, I want to be like, bitch, we did that in the '90s. Remember
Mhm.
when we had power frappuccinos? Were you with the company when we had power
N
frappuccinos?
I feel
And
like I
it was a
I
white
don't think so.
powder. It was a white
No. Ew.
powder.
He's
Just kidding.
implying things.
I'm
A
not.
little snow on top. Okay, go ahead.
It was a snowy day at Starbucks, in Southern California.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
no, but it
Well,
was
there's
like
a
a
lot of snow in Southern California, especially LA. Anyway,
true, Beverly Hills.
boom. Yeah.
So, you would open this packet, it was called the Power Packet, not kidding, and you would pour it in, and it was like it's supposed to have vitamins and minerals and protein,
I
and
think I do remember that. Yeah.
Matt I'm stealing this from Matt because God bless Matt. Matt's gotta be on this show. We gotta find him. We gotta track him down. He said he's like, "It's like putting a Tylenol in a cupcake."
It's weird.
And I was like, "True, they didn't last
Yeah.
long."
No, it didn't last long. So they've
Yeah,
tried different things
yeah,
and they have, not done well by it. As we got a little sidetracked, but our
yes.
point is we went. So anyway, getting back to our little vlog and that our journey,
Sorry.
we did find a lot. No, this is great. Nothing to apologize for. I'm just trying to remember, like, what were we talking about again? Anyway, so we were like at Studio City, and then we went and we found out Sherman Oaks, which actually is a store I trained at. They had a training center
Mhm.
upstairs, and it was actually one of the busiest
Yeah,
stores, like,
it was.
weirdly very busy, but I think the area, as we
Yes.
found out,
Yeah,
because while we were there, somebody was trying to get undressed, and there was a man trying to film her, and then this other hero man came out and was, like, saving her and all that kinda stuff and was like, "Don't film her," and it was, like, weird vibes
yeah.
altogether. I don't think the area isn't bad, but I think
Well,
they
that
just.
was at the Ventura Alco store. That wasn't
Oh,
at the
to be
Sherman
fair,
Oaks
okay,
store.
that makes more sense. So the Sherman Oaks store is gone.
But it's all
Maybe.
very vacant there now. Remember, it used to be really hopping. Like, there was a Cold Stone and there was, like,
I think it
Oz
was still
Oz
Cold
on
Stone
the
was still
street.
there. That's what was weird. Cold Stone was there, but Starbucks wasn't there.
Yeah, it was so weird, and that whole area is, like, different. It does have a different vibe. It doesn't feel as hopping anymore. It's very, like, mellow.
Yeah. Well, probably a lot of things happened after COVID, but I
Yeah,
also kind of feel like what's happening is they're trying to create it to be a little more hip because they had like a more hip store there.
yeah.
Maybe they don't need it as much, but I don't know. It was just interesting that Sherman Oaks was closed, and
I know.
then we landed at Jeff's store
We
in
went to Ventura
Toluca Lake.
Alcove after that,
Oh, we went to
where we
Ventura
saw
Alcove.
Laura.
And she was
She was
awesome.
awesome.
She gave me free egg white bikes, which I totally appreciated. She was so nice. Yeah, she liked us. Hey, G.
I
I
didn't.
know. Thank you. So
I didn't appreciate it. They were in my car. The stench, people. The stench.
she gave me. She was like, "Can I get you something?" And she loved being filmed. She even said,
Oh, yeah.
"It's fine." She said, "As long as you're filming me."
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm like,
boom. Mm-mm,
"Okay,
mm-mm.
girl."
And then she talked to Jeff, and we had a nice chat with her that
Yeah,
she
that
said
was
that they
nice.
made the store a lot smaller,
Mhm.
so they are just trying to get people in and out of the
Yeah.
store. That might be what's happening. And then we trucked on over and I made it through. I almost died a few times, but then I made it to Toluca Lake.
You could
And
have Ubered if you
and
were
that's
really that uncomfortable. Next time, we'll meet there.
it was just way entertaining, and then we saw someone tagging the streets,
Oh,
true
that was
LA
cool.
experience, and we saw someone getting undressed. I mean, it was a LA adventure, I would say.
All I wanna do is have some fun. I
And
got a
we
feeling.
I'm not the only one. And then we and then we went to Toluca Lake,
Yeah,
and they were some assholes.
they were not
Sorry,
nice. Not nice.
they were not nice.
Not nice.
They had nothing to do with us. They were like, "What? What, bro? What?
It put
What?
a very
What?"
bad taste in my mouth for that store that I have coveted
But
for so
I
long.
know. It was like a kind of it was kinda weird. It was kinda like Jeff was like, "This is my store. This is what" he had a lot of good memories at the store. We walk in and they're total assholes.
It was like
And they
no
didn't
personality,
no,
not even a hello,
didn't wanna
just like
talk.
just like a head shake.
They were rude, but we did find out they did not have the sign there. They did not have the sign at the alcohol store.
Yeah,
But then we ventured on out to Bob's,
which
Big Boy, which was next
packed,
door.
packed.
Packed. I got hit on by a man who
It
was
was
about 105 years old with a cane. So apparently I still got it.
Adela still got it. She got it. Uh-huh. She
I
got it.
said, "That's right,
Uh-huh.
baby. You know you still got it." No, what you find out is that men just never change no matter how old they are. And then we ventured off to we went ended it
The tail
at
end.
the tail end where we felt young again, where
It
we
was
finally felt young again.
breathed life back into us.
Because it was like people 80 on up
It
talking
was like
about their
being
bunions and stuff.
it was like being in a retirement home cafeteria. Everybody was talking about their kids and their I mean,
Loudly.
God bless. You've lived long, you can talk, but they also were talking very loud.
No filter
No
about things I
filter.
didn't need to hear about while we're waiting for our food. And then the food
Well,
was
I
really
can't
good.
have that because of my GI tract.
Yeah, they're like, "Wow, I don't know. My stomach's a little upset. I might have to get the runs again." I was like, "Okay." The waiter was very excited about us filming. This is what we found out. People
Mm.
liked the filming
Well,
because we
the
the
bus
water,
boy
the
definitely
busboy,
loved it.
and you could tell because he was like, "Wow, nobody has iPhones around here. Whoa, these are some young." So we felt young again.
They're all pulling rotary phones out of their purse. Let me call my child. Why isn't this working? It's not a cell phone, Grandma.
Yeah,
Sorry, you
grandma,
can
it's
put that
not
back.
happening. So we were able to recap, and so it went really well. But in all, what we have found out is that nobody knows. We've interviewed Andy. We've talked to
Brenda.
Brenda. We've asked other partners in
Yeah.
other stores. We've looked in the stores. We've peeked in the stores. We've filmed the stores. No one's heard of this alumni, and nobody is getting back to us. So now we land here, and we have just contacted the Alumni
On
Association
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn. And let's see.
Let's see if we get some
Let's see.
action, some movement,
Some action.
some
And
movement.
next week we're going to have another partner on, and we're going to film it together in person at a we'll disclose it at real time in a really fun little location.
It's
Um
gonna be awesome.
and it will look
Bring
really
that
cool.
fan. It'll fit in perfectly.
I will bring that. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll bring that
I'm
fan.
full of good ideas.
You are full of good ideas. So here we are, Jeff. I think our next step is to, I feel that what we want to say, and I want to put this out there, and
Yes.
we want to say this together so that when we post this online, we are saying to Starbucks, contact us.
Email us. Make a
E-
comment on our podcast. I mean, it's really not that. I know you have people
Mhm.
who are scouring the internet looking to see if anything is being said. You know it is. So
We know you have people doing this. I Everybody knows clearly some of our posts have gone from 200 to 26,000 hits. Somehow you have there's got to be I've hashtagged you, I've at you.
we all have.
I have been watching you. And me and Jeff are waiting for you to contact us
Just say
and
something.
say
Like, "Hey,
something.
got your message. We'll talk later." Anything. KIT, stay sweet, have a rad summer, anything.
Right. You could just BRB. You could just say anything you want. You just say TY for thank you, something,
So anything.
an emoji, smiling emoji,
My favorite is the happy
thumbs
face
up.
melting. The melting happy face one is
That's
my
how I feel
favorite.
most of the time.
Well, in summer especially. I feel like I'm
Exactly.
melting.
As a
Uh,
woman of a certain era, I should say, I feel melting all the time. But anyway, so we are really trying to kind of get the word out. So we're asking for all of you to listen. Please help us by reposting things that we put. It would help us if you repost. I post on TikTok. I post on YouTube.
yeah,
We're posting on our Instagram. Please follow us at What Starbucks Was Fun. Tell people about this because we're trying. It's harder to do something when we're kind of doing it ourselves.
yeah,
We're not like
exactly.
hiring a team or having or paying for
A
follows and things
consulting
like this.
firm.
Because I know Jeff, you probably don't know this, but people pay for follows and they pay for likes and
What?
things like. Oh yes, I'm teaching Jeff about the interwebs, and that is something that people do. We're doing this legit and we're doing it organically, and we would love your help. With that said, Jeff, let
Yes.
me read our latest
Oh,
review.
please do. I love reviews if they're
And
good.
we want all the reviews, but we definitely want the good ones. So this one says, so fun, love your chemistry.
Mm.
5 star, Jeff and Adela, what a blast. You two are adorable and delightful. just listened to my first episode and I'm a fan. It
Aw,
was so much fun. Thanks for bringing us along for the ride. There you
that's
go.
nice. Whoever
Thank
that was,
you.
thank you.
Blue Sky. That's their name. Blue Sky. Thank you, Blue
Blue
Sky.
skies smiling at me,
I
nothing
knew it.
but blue skies do
I knew
I
it was gonna break it.
see. I'm a musical.
I love it. I love it.
Anywho, and
Okay.
also former partners, reach out. If you know us or you don't know us, and be like, "Hey, I have some really good stories," and or I worked at the first Starbucks in Seattle or whatever. We'll have you on. I think that'd be cool.
Absolutely. We want all of it. So we so appreciate this. We have more stuff coming. We're excited to have more people on and get this reunion going. Alex reached out to me on Facebook and was like, "Was that Andy?" I was like, "Yes, that was Andy. Listen to it. Listen to the episode." And we would love to have you on.
Was that Andy?
And if Matt's listening, we want to have you
I
on,
know, Matt.
Matt.
Come on, dude.
Message us. We'd love to have
Pammy,
you on.
Matt,
Brian, listen, all's forgiven. I hope you
Ryan.
know we're not going to have a confrontation. Just throw me $15, Venmo me, and we're even.
Not even 15 though, because let's be honest, it was going to be shared between all of us. Maybe 250.
I think for the pain I went through
Oh, for crying in the
and the
sun.
and the rudeness of that person just going out of their way, I deserve the 15. Boom. Okay. So Jeff,
Yes.
let's wrap this up.
Wrapping
And
it up.
anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Just email us, comment, review, follow, all of that good stuff.
All the things.
All the things.
All right. Well, thank you for listening us. You heard us say follow us on When Starbucks Was Fun. You could follow Jeff at,
It's Jeff Funny on Insta.
and you could follow me at Adele Levine on Instagram, TikTok, and all of the things if you want to see what we're doing. And
Remember to keep watching and listening to our podcast When Starbucks Was Fun.
no, I'm going to say we're doing a
Oh,
new thing. We're doing a new thing because
I know,
Jeff
but
has a great line. He has a great
I was
line.
gonna do that, and then you were gonna do the other one, and then I was gonna do the last one.
No, no, no. This is our new thing we're going to do.
Oh
This
my
is, we're
god!
signing off.
Cut. Can we get? I don't.
No,
Do we
I
need to
swear.
replace her? I don't. I don't know what's happening here. I'm not working under these conditions.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
In the
go.
real world, it's just coffee.
Yeah, it's just coffee, Jeff.
That is
Okay.
poignant, baby Adela.
Okay.
Okay.
When Starbucks was fun, when we were young.
When the bean was king.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.